Okay, so this is great. I'm so glad to be here in person, and it's really nice that we have a hybrid event and we can have questions and get folks to participate remotely. So today I'm going to talk about a project that is ongoing. And this is a project that is looking into using LLMs in ideation and consider how they could enhance both the process itself as well as the results of an ideation process. I'm Orit Shaer. I'm from Wellesley College. I have two of my co-authors here with me. So Angel Cooper, also from Wellesley College. Say hi. And Angel will have a demo of a couple of our prototypes later on in spot 10. And Osnat Mokryn, who is also one of the chairs for IUI. So thank you for organizing all this party here with me. So the motivation here is to look into the changes that are happening in interaction design based on the generative AI tools that are available. So we're starting to see many researchers looking into how we're going to kind of have different practices when we think about interaction design, when we think about user research, and how to prepare students into these changes, how to prepare students into really working with AI in a co-creation mode, thinking about collaboration in a deep and critical way. So I have a couple of the students that got to use the tools here with me. So kind of you can say hi, Connie and Shelley. And also to understand how we can use LLMs to contribute to collaborative ideation phases. So we're thinking about collaborative ideation. So this is an ideation process that is structured and is happening with a group. And typically such an ideation process will start with some project brief or will start with a problem statement. And following divergence stage will result in ideally multiple high quality ideas that will be generated by the group. And then in the convergence stage, the group will select a subset of ideas. Ideally, this will be kind of competitive, high quality ideas, and then enhance these ideas and develop them further. So the questions that we're asking is, how can we use LLMs in the divergence stage of collaboration? And the goal is to enhance both the ideas themselves as well as the outcome of the process. And specifically, we're interested in thinking about ideation as a group AI process here. And the second question that we would like to ask is, how can we use AI to help us identify the most promising ideas in the convergence states? And specifically, we're looking into a structured ideation process that is called brainwriting. Brainwriting is a variation of brainstorming. It's a structured process in which participants are starting by sharing their ideas in a written way. So they share Post-it notes. The Canvas from IBM is very relevant and a great tool for writing brainwriting ideas. And one thing that we like about brainwriting is that it's more inclusive. It tends to kind of even the play field. You don't have to participate actively in order to be the more dominant voice. Everyone is contributing through writing their ideas. So we devised a collaborative group AI brainwriting framework that bring and integrate AI LLMs in different stages of the process. It brings it into the idea generation and bring it into narrowing and selecting ideas and then developing further the ideas that we're selecting. And today I'm just going to give an overview of the framework and the tools, and we actually have a Kai paper that go deeper into the details of how we developed and assessed each of these stages. So these are the instructions that we gave to students that used in the class our new idea for collaborative brainwriting with AI. So it's an iterative process. We used it in a 70-minute session. We had 5 groups, 170 ideas were generated as a result of this session. And we use an online board called Concept Board. We did not develop it, it's a product. And what we did is we really treated brainwriting as a group process that has one more member, and that will be, in that case, GPT-3. We ran these studies in February 2023. So GPT-3 was still the model. ChatGPT was not available publicly for students to use. And you see here that there is a room for each participant to write their ideas, as well as for GPT to contribute their ideas just as another team member. And after all team members, including GPT contributing their ideas, there is a discussion, collaboration, elaboration process in which the participants are bringing the tool and integrating their ideas together and then kind of selecting a subset of the ideas and developing them further. So from this stage, we found a few interesting findings. First is that semantic clustering showed us that there is a difference between the ideas that were generated by people and the ideas that were generated by GPT-3. In other words, what we saw is that we find evidence that GPT-3 really kind of expand the solution space that was explored on the board. The ideas that were eventually selected by each of the teams were a combination of AI and human-generated ideas. Kind of that shows us that the ideas were actually kind of relevant and helpful for the team. 50% of the participants, of the students in this exercise, thought that this tool helped them to generate more ideas. But we also saw a lot of evidence that students were struggling with prompt engineering, that it was hard for them to prompt the tool itself. And at the end of the semester, so kind of reflecting back, students really thought that GPT-3 helped them to elaborate and come up with new ideas. So that was kind of the divergence stage, generating multiple ideas. And then we developed a tool that help students, help participants to think which ideas should we focus more. So this is a tool for evaluating ideas. We have here 3 scales. One scale is relevant, and here we're talking about the relevance of the proposed idea into the kind of design prompt, into the prompt for the brainstorming, how innovative is the idea and how insightful. You can try on later interacting with this tool and testing it. And with this tool, we were trying to solve the problem also of prompt engineering by providing kind of back-end prompt engineering for the students. We did a lot of studies to assess the feasibility of using GPT for evaluation. Here we already use GPT-4 because the students in the classroom didn't get to use this tool in the first study, as GPT-4 became only available later. And we did a lot of studies to assess both the consistency. So if we run the same evaluation multiple times on GPT, will it provide consistent results? And the answer is that yes. And whether it is compared to experts and peer evaluators, and the answer is that compare consistently enough. So if you want more details, the details of the specific evaluations are in the Kai paper, and I will provide a link to the preprint. And then once we have a subset of ideas, we develop a tool to help participants to select an idea and really elaborate it from multiple perspectives. So here we use the 6 thinking hats method. This is not a method that we developed. This is a known decision-making method that was developed by Lenovo. We just created a simple application that is looking into elaborating, selecting ideas and looking at them from different perspectives. Many of the perspectives are perspectives that could not necessarily be developed by the participants that are currently present in the room. So students got to hear from voices of intended audience, voices of potential users, voices of potential engineers, potential marketers that are sitting on the team and contribute to that. So far we have evidence that LLMs could be useful both for the divergence and the convergence stage. We're working on developing tools that use back-end engineering prompt engineering in order to solve that problem and make sure that users can participate and really derive value from using them. And we're trying to evaluate them in the wild. So since February 2023, which was our first study, we actually deployed different variations of these tools in multiple courses. And we're currently working on analyzing the results. And if you're interested in the assessment and the evaluation of these tools, you can access the preprint of the Kai paper that provide a lot of data. Well, thank you.
Question? Yes.
We do have questions.
Okay. Okay, thank you. This is Mary Lou Meyer. Thanks for your really interesting talk. I've been looking at divergence and convergence for many years, so it's so exciting to see more work on this. In ideation, there's a sense that you could be looking for more ideas and good or better solutions, or there's a sense that you're looking for creative or novel ideas. And I imagine the way you prompt the GPT would matter if you were prompting for novelty or creativity. In your prompting from the students and in your back-end prompting, were you asking the GPT to be creative or to come up with novel ideas?
Yes. So as I said, the study that we present here was done in February 2023. We were all learning, right, how to prompt ChatGPT at the time. And not surprisingly, students struggled with how to prompt ChatGPT. We instructed them and we gave them some examples in which we emphasize novelty and creativity. But they still found it difficult. So I would say that 50% of them said that it was very useful and really provide innovative ideas. And 50% of them, actually 30% of them said that it was really challenging to get it to do something different and creative. The evidence that we found, I don't know if it's different, if it's creative, but it's definitely different, right? There are words and there are terms that appear in the ideas that are generated by GPT that do not appear in the ideas that are generated by humans. And specifically, we see much more details of implementations. So the students stayed in the abstract level of the concept, and GPT tended to come up with ideas that were actually more concrete. Yes.
Yes, hi, Phil Feldman, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I'm really curious to just follow up on this question. Do you have any experiences where your students were trying to drag the language model in a different direction? I'm thinking my personal thing that I like to do is to have the language model describe a horse riding a man instead of a man riding a horse. And it often will just not be able to do that. When you're experiencing the attempt to be creative and trying to get creativity out of this, it's going to tend to go down channels, but you can pull it in different directions. And I'm wondering if you have any experiences from that.
So not exactly in that way. So this was a structured brainstorming session, right, that used a specific method, brainwriting, and had a goal in mind. So it wasn't kind of necessarily exercising creativity. It was you have a project brief and you have to accommodate to the project brief, and you want to accommodate to the project brief with innovative ideas that do not exist on the market today. So the students were trying to get novelty by saying words as be novel, be creative, but not necessarily by trying to prompt for the impossible in that way. We definitely didn't solve the problem of how to prompt for creativity quite yet. The model that we use is actually the students manually prompting GPT. So this is something that the IBM canvas, right, can look into when you call in to GPT kind of with the back end. But we didn't find evidence for that. We find evidence in really trying to be clear and direct, forcing creativity out of this model that sometimes was successful and sometimes not.
So what I'm doing is I'm joining the conversation, if it's okay. And what I've noticed from our work and from my teaching experience is that we as universities have conflicting views as how to incorporate students and generative AI tools. And there are conflicting messages. And the truth is they don't know how to use them, most of them. They use it in a very basic manner, and they often just take the output and put it as the answer. And I think that might be, we might actually think about a call for universities to teach how to work with generative AI. And I always teach my students, and I tell them, use it as a building block. Start there, build on that. I mean,
That's how we're going to be writing.
exactly. And I think that this needs to be now a basic skill that is taught in universities in a way.
Yeah, I actually think that we will see less and less need for prompt engineering, because I think that the next generation really of how we're going to use these tools, and we're starting to see it emerging now, is that we're going to use a lot of specific apps like mobile apps today that have kind of back-end engineering. So the prompt will be constructed for you and you'll be interacting with it in different ways, but not necessarily engineering the prompts. The prompt engineering that goes beyond the 6 hats engine that we have here and the evaluation engine are extremely elaborated. And we kind of spend a lot of time devising them. This is not something that I would necessarily teach a student to do unless they take an advanced class, which is a research class, but this is not for the students to use that part of the research. How to prompt it for being innovative and creative. This is still tricky. And part of it will be prompt engineering, but a lot of it will be, I think, apps that will tackle the issue in different ways.
I think we have to, we can keep any further questions for,
There are
Did this-
quite a few questions from online,
Yeah,
so
I
maybe
think-
we can bring them
yeah,
when we
let's
have the
focus,
conversation.
yeah, at the end, thanks.
Thank you.
Jesus.